Red Sox Nation knows no boundaries, stretching across generations and across the country. This next story introduces us to a fan who built a shrine in the desert to his team and his grandfather.
I'm Bill Deacon, owner of Foster's Seafood in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's the Valley's only traditional New England seafood place. We fly fresh fish in from New England daily. I graduated from college in 1991. I moved to Arizona, and after a little while decided that Scottsdale needed to have a New England seafood place. It took my staff a little while to understand the accents and the mannerisms, but they've gotten pretty good at it now. It's also the home of Red Sox Nation. You won't ever come into this place and not see a Red Sox hat or a Red Sox shirt. We wanted to provide a place where people could, hang out with other New Englanders and catch all the sporting events. My paternal grandfather's name was Walter Deacon, and he was a sports writer for the Leominster Sentinel and actually covered the 1946 World Series. When I went to the Red Sox playoff games last year, I sort of kept a running diary, and really it turned into almost like a column on the World Series. So my sister took some of my excerpts and some of the articles that my grandfather wrote, and she put them in a book. So now the circle's complete. I was able to get tickets to the ALCS. My best friend from Gardner, his name is Mike Alm.
When Billy called me about American League Championship, I hung up the phone, bought a ticket, and I'll meet you. I'll wait at the airport for you. And I couldn't even wait at the airport. I had to go down to Yawkey Way. I was so excited.
He lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. I live in Scottsdale, so it was quite a hike to get back there for games 3 and 4. Obviously, we were pretty fired up, even though the Sox were down. We expected to probably take 3 and 4 and be right back in it.
After game 3, I really couldn't sleep.
Just torture, just not even a chance to cheer. I just remember going, wow, we flew all the way out here, and it was a drubbing. I wrote this after game 3, greetings from Fenway Park, or as my father called it this morning, Fenway Mausoleum.
We woke up that day and we just needed coffee, and it was just a struggle.
Sometimes Dunkin' Donuts is just what the doctor ordered. In this case, it certainly was. Great coffee, incredible coffee cake muffins, and a copy of the Sunday Globe, where every single columnist is ripping the Sox to shreds.
We thought about going home.
But, as we thought about it, we said, if the curse is going to be reversed, this is how it's going to happen. The Yankees are going to choke a 3-game lead. We're going to be there to see it happen.
At game 4, there was just something in the air. The fans really were holding on to a glimmer of hope.
Then the 9th inning comes along, and it's just everything that you hope won't happen. Rivera's on the mound, you're down by a run. Then Millar gets that walk. Now all of a sudden, things just feel a little bit different. So out comes Dave Roberts.
I got out there. I hadn't played in about 10 days, but I knew that once I got an opportunity, I wanted to be prepared. I didn't want to let the guys down.
The electricity in Fenway Park at that time, as Roberts you can see him trying to stretch out on first. He starts, leaning and twitching.
With the Red Sox try and steal a base.
Mariano picked over once.
Roberts was 38 for 41 in stolen bases. Nearly perfect.
And then he picked over twice and almost got me the second time.
That was close.
As he started picking over, I started getting back into the flow of the game. And they picked over the 3rd time, and then at that point in time, it was like I hadn't missed a beat.
Roberts is going. Posada's throw. Roberts. Safe.
When Roberts stole second, the place just went crazy.
I got a good jump, and Jorge made a good throw, and Jeter put a good tag, but fortunately, Joe West called me safe.
Now Miller will try to get him at least over to third base. Up the middle. Roberts will come to the plate. Bill Miller has tied it.
It was a glimmer of hope. There was so much energy, and then the team was excited, and after that, basically the rest is history.
You just knew, you kind of had that feeling like, wow, you know what, something really changed here.
It was the best experience of my life.
There was just something about that park and that night that I'll carry with me the rest of my life.
And I wish that everyone who's put on a baseball uniform could play one day for the Boston Red Sox.
When we return,
that was the best part about Dave Roberts being here, is that I got all the, all of this backstory, and just the drama of it all was just too much. My business partner in the restaurant here is a guy by the name of Mark Loretta, and he is the second baseman for the Padres. Coincidentally, in the offseason, Roberts ended up signing with San Diego. So I got a phone call literally the first day that spring training started, and he says, you're never going to guess whose locker is right next to mine here at spring training. And I said, I have no idea. And he said, it's Dave Roberts. About 2 weeks later, Mark had a birthday party for his son, and Dave was there.
Bill wanted to know if there's any way that I can come by Foster's because it's a Red Sox hangout, and I said I'd love to come by and get a meal and do a signing and meet the people that were so supportive of me when I was a Red Sox and still are supportive of me.
And I don't think he really understood what that meant. He said, oh, sure, I'll come over some afternoon. And, you know, I sent it out to the 18,000 people in the email family, and I'll never forget the look on his face when he walked in the front door.
Once I got there, I got a standing ovation, and that was very humbling in itself, and just pretty excited to be there, you know, because it was already the off season and the start of a new season. I was a Padre, and just to kind of get that warm Red Sox ovation and that love once again was pretty awesome.
The place was packed. It was, you know, standing room only. He was so gracious. He stayed until the very end. He signed everything that anybody put in front of him. He took pictures. It was a lot of fun.
I didn't know that the Red Sox Nation made their way this far out west, but they were there in full form, so I enjoyed myself.
I'm a big baseball fan, so I want to know all of the details. So I said, okay, so, you know, you look over and you get the steal sign.
There was no steal sign.
Okay, so you got the don't steal sign. He said, no, I didn't get the don't steal sign either. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I looked over and there was no sign.
I really commend Terry Francona for giving me the liberty to do what I do.
And I said, okay, so tell me, you know, you're taking the lead and you know that you're going to go. What's going through your mind?
The only thing I could think about is what a mentor of mine when I was with the Dodgers, Maury Wills, who's a great baseball player and a great base stealer himself, told me that one day you're going to get an opportunity to steal a base.
When everybody in the stadium and everybody in the country was going to know that he was going to steal it.
And you need to steal that base, and you can't be afraid to fail. You know, there was a little voice on this side saying, don't do it, you know, play it safe. But the Maury Wills in me got to me, and you know, I wanted to be that guy.
He knew that the next 30 seconds or next 10 seconds, however long it took him to get down to second base, was going to be his Red Sox legacy.
When I think about Maury Wills, I think of nothing but positive thoughts. Without him, I don't think that I would have stolen that base, and you know, history might have been a little bit different.
That was the best part about Dave Roberts being here, is that I got all of this backstory, and just the drama of it all was just too much.
With what we accomplished as a team and with what I had to contribute with the stealing the base and scoring the run, it was very humbling to me. And if people remember Dave Roberts for, you know, stealing the base, you know, that's a huge compliment, and I'll never get tired of hearing that.
I'm Bill Deacon.
I'm Dave Roberts.
And we'll always love Red Sox Nation.